Hi. Most of us have heard the story of David and Goliath. The story of David and Goliath belongs to the 4th century. The story of David and Goliath tells us how David took down Goliath. Although the Goliath was such a giant, at the same time, no Israelis were able to challenge Goliath because they were scared of his size and might. There are 5 lessons from the story of David and Goliath that you should learn and apply in your real life. So here are the 5 life lessons. Be bigger than your fears. Twice a day for 40 days, Goliath used to challenge Israelis for one-on-one fight. All the Israelis used to be so terrified as the lion prey on the verge of death. All the Israelis used to be scared of challenging Goliath. But when David heard the reward of defeating Goliath, he accepted the challenge right away. When David approached Goliath to fight, Goliath had a armor and a javelin. All David had was staff, sling, and 5 stones. And as we all know, David was like a child in front of Goliath in terms of size. But did all these facts stop him? Yeah, right. Not long after the battle started, he pulled his sling back with a stone attached to it. Then he let it rip into Goliath's forehead, killed him in the process. If it wasn't David, someone else could have run away and backed down, because the Israelis were smaller than their fears and David was bigger than his fear. But how about you? If you are not bigger than your fears, then you are going to be settling for the things which are less than your fears. And you will be enslaved by your fears no matter in which situation you are in or what decision you need to make. Look at the things logically. Look at the facts. Get out of your head and take action already. This was the first lesson of the story of David and Goliath. But there are more. So the next lesson is size of your problems does not matter in your life. In life, you are bound to come across many challenges, small challenges, big challenges, tiny challenges. But the thing that you should always keep in your mind is that size of your challenge, problem, or obstacle is irrelevant. Now, some of you might ask me why. It is because that does not determine what is possible for you. The only thing that determines what's possible for you is you, your mindset and your belief. David could have compared his size with the problem he was facing. He could have just ran away from the Goliath, especially considering the situation when he had just a staff, 5 stone and sling. David knew that size does not matter, but it's the heart, courage and commitment that matters the most. You can apply these same principles and same level of thinking to your life and the challenges you are facing in your life. Think bigger than the challenges. Be bigger than the obstacles and act as it's impossible for you not to fail. Have self-confidence, conviction and believe in yourself. More than you believe in the challenge is bigger than yourself. So that was the second lesson. And the third lesson is make use of what you already have in yourself. I see many people complain about what they don't have. Why not having what they don't have is a problem. Why they need that thing before they can get started. Why not having that thing is holding them back. The truth is that you have to use what you already got to get what you want. Compared to the armor and the weapons Goliath had, David seemed insufficient. After all, he only had a sling, 5 stones and a staff. Even though he turned down the armor which was offered to him, yet he made use of it. And it happened to be more than sufficient to get the job done. He still defeated Goliath regardless of the comparison in weight, strength, armor and weapons etc. David didn't mourn or whine because of the difference he had. Just like the Israelis, David had a so what kind of attitude and left everyone in shock after defeating Goliath so easily using nothing but a sling and a stone. So stop making excuses. Want to start a business? Improve and use what you already have. If you want to start singing, record through your phone if you are not ready for the studio. If you want to make a YouTube video, start recording through your phone instead of explaining why you need the expensive equipment to get started. If you want to be a graphic designer, start to watch YouTube videos to learn instead of complaining about why you can't an expensive course. So that was the third lesson. Now we are going to start the fourth lesson of the story of David and Goliath. It teaches us to believe that everything is possible. In the story of David and Goliath, Israelis did not believe that it is possible to defeat Goliath. That is why they feared him. If we rate their self-belief on the scale of 1 to 10, their self-belief will be less than 5. On the other hand, if we say David believed in himself that he can defeat Goliath. So if you will rate his self-belief, you will give him 10 out of 10. That is one of the reasons that it was not hard for David to challenge Goliath, and one of the reasons that he was able to defeat him. And also the fact that David turned down the offer of using armor shows that David believed in himself that he can defeat Goliath very easily. It also proves that David believed that it is possible and everything is possible. So now question is on you. Do you believe it's possible? If you don't think that what you pursuing is possible, there are 90% chances that you are going to fail. You will quit on yourself before even reaching the halfway. Think about it in this way. You are the guy who likes a girl, but he is too afraid to approach a girl and tell her his feelings. His self-belief on himself is too weak. That's why he quit so easily before even making a move. If your fears are stronger than your self-belief and faith, then you have mistakenly shot yourself in your feet without even knowing it. Until and unless you believe in yourself more than the obstacle, you will continue to quit by yourself. This was the fourth lesson of the story of David and Goliath, which we should implement in our life. Now we are going to get started with the fifth and last thing that this story is telling us. Never underestimate your capabilities. It is always dangerous to underestimate yourself. When you underestimate yourself and your capabilities, you end up achieving less. Judging how David looked compared to Goliath in terms of size and capabilities, you would think that Goliath was the superior one. But the outcome of the battle turned out to be very different than the Israelis expected. David didn't underestimate his abilities or himself. He had self-confidence and a lot of it. He was smart enough to know that he is capable in succeeding. So as a conclusion, we can say you should stop underestimating yourself. It doesn't matter what you do. You could be a writer, painter, designer, or even a college student. You are capable of much more than you believe. You are just not able to see it right now because until now you have not gave yourself a chance. One of the reasons that I also believe in it, that if you won't underestimate yourself, you will end up doing more and more and achieving more than your capabilities in the end of the day. Abdullah II from Jordan said, it's very dangerous to underestimate anybody. Well, so these were the 5 lessons you all should learn and adapt in your life from the story of David and Goliath. So this was it for today, and I hope you like this video. Please subscribe and let everyone else know that these are the things we all should be learning from the Bible. So see you soon in the next video.